Well, I'm sitting in my chair late at night, watching crime unfold under the pale moonlight. From the darkest corner, stories unfold. True crime jewels, she's brash and she is bold. On the YouTube screen, we're digging deep into the mysteries that never sleep. From missing kids in Tennessee to angry husbands named Barry. True crime's calling, and we're taking the time. So grab a seat, don't miss a beat. This True Crime Jewels got what you need. From missing people to twisted minds, we're unraveling secrets old Barry tried to hide. Every clue, every twist and turn. In the world of crime, there's always more to learn. On the YouTube screen, we're digging deep into the mysteries that never sleep. From Christopher's anger to Stephen Fisher's lies. The truth is calling, and justice won't be denied. So grab a seat, don't miss a beat. True Crime Jewels on the YouTube streets. Lights are low, suspense is high. We're chasing truth, we spot every lie. Step into the darkness, hold on tight. Two flashlights out there in the dead of night. On the YouTube screen, we're
all right, everybody. I hope you guys are doing very, very well. I myself am doing great. Look, we are. This is another one of those frustration or incredulity or just a basic WTF am I seeing? So, yes, I know that the Zachary Hughes case went off the rails in a huge way. And we're going to come back in a little bit and we're going to talk about Zachary Hughes. But right now, I have to do some drama. And I know that people that really love true crime hate the drama. So I'm giving you fair warning. This is drama, crap, not true crime crap. And I will be doing my Zachary Hughes, wipe up, verdict watch when I get finished with this. So if you just want to leave and kind of watch for that Zachary Hughes video to come up, then you'll see it. But this is something different. This is about the lawsuit that is happening between YouTube creators. It is so childish that this is happening. It is just so hard to understand. And, look, y'all, so I'm a psychologist, okay? That's what my real job is. And I have an incredible amount of interest in everything related to the virtual world. I even use like virtual reality headsets in therapy, kids with severe trauma. I use it in regular clinical situations for like learning relaxation skills. And one of the things that has long been a hobby of mine is I am fascinated, truly, truly, truly fascinated, and have been for probably 12 years. How is it that people seem to form close relationships, even love, over the internet, even when people have not had access to video conversations online? There were stories happening about 8 years ago or so when Facebook first kind of really became a thing. Yeah, I guess that's like 15 years ago. Anyway, where people just up and left their family, their wives and husbands and kids, to go across the country because they thought they had found their soulmate through nothing more than chat. And you can imagine, as someone who studies human behavior, you have to really stop and ask yourself, are there this many insane people in the world? Or is there really something happening here that should be studied, that we should know about? And in the long run, that early research on the socialization with concerning social media, there's a big part of that is delusional. When you form a relationship with people online, your brain is kind of filling in the blanks with you're kind of meeting someone online, you're having a little bit of exchange, and then your brain fills in the rest with what the perfect guy would be, or what the perfect girl would be, or what the perfect best friend would be. And people make very foolish decisions because they're believing this delusional state, and they take off cross country, they leave their family behind, and then are in dismay because they're sitting in a house somewhere being battered, and they thought, what happened to my great, wonderful, soulmate? And then you have to help them come to the realization that you didn't even know the person. You took a little bit of information that they gave you, and then your own brain took over and convinced you that this was your soulmate, that this was the man or woman of your dreams. And it is a really shattering realization for these people to realize, I didn't know this person at all, and yet I feel like I've lost my soulmate, right? So people are really these online relationships are getting messy, and they're having real world consequences. And these lawsuits that are happening among YouTube creators is another messy outcome of getting into relationships online and thinking that all of this is real, and not having the realization that you don't have to have other people like you online. They don't have to believe what you say. They don't have to have the same ideas that you have. And I just listened to an exchange that just left me baffled. I'm dumbfounded because you can hear so clearly the animosity, the bad behavior, the cussing like out the wazoo. And the premise is, oh, this is the real TikTok Tony. Just wait until you find out who the real TikTok Tony is. And I'm thinking, ooh, this is going to be bad. He's going to really show out and act really ugly. And it wasn't that at all. And these people actually believe what they're saying. They truly believe what they're saying. And I thought, I got to show this because this is such a perfect example of what I'm talking about, that you have in your mind a reality that you believe is accurate. And it's based on your worldview and the way you have conceptualized other people. And you might be wrong. You might be wrong. And yet you guys are willing to lose thousands of dollars to go to court. You guys are reacting to things that are not real. You're doing things they're not real. And you're going to end up costing. I can't, let me say this, okay? I am mystified that people are giving thousands of dollars. I'm talking about subscribers are giving creators thousands of dollars for these sham lawsuits. I heard Mommy Rambling, she has got a GoFundMe with more than $10,000 that her subscribers have given her. More than $10,000. You want to know why? Because people are replaying her lives and reacting to them. You're going to ask your handful of subscribers to give $10,000 of their money because someone is just engaging in fair use? Why as a subscriber would you do that? Why? And that's not the only one. There's Granny's watching. There's the whole thing with Brittany J. Queen Bee's got multiple lawsuits. Bullhorn Betty's got multiple lawsuits. None of this is real, y'all. You guys are in a semi-delusional state. You're not reacting to reality. Okay, so that's my opinion. Okay, let me make sure that I say my opinion, please. All right, so let's take a listen to this because I was just in amazement because I kept expecting like this really bad thing to happen, right? Because they kept saying, oh, wait till you see what he's really like. You're going to find out the real Tony. And, I have to be honest. Most people will tell you, I have not, I am mostly on the fence about Tony Mathis. I have believed for a long time that his involvement was the beginning of a great deal of chaos for Seth. I may be wrong now, right? I mean, that transition or that correlation may have happened, but maybe it wasn't Tony Mathis that caused it. In recent days, I do think that I've seen, he does seem to be authentic, and maybe I was just completely wrong about him. But nevertheless, whether my feelings are accurate or they're wrong has no bearing on anything. Seth is friends with Tony, and Tony has shown a great deal of support to Seth while he's gone through this nightmare real world scenario. His child is gone, and it looks like his ex-wife, the mother of the child, may have had something to do with that. Not that she did, but it is a very peculiar set of circumstances that would lead a rational person to think there's only one way that Sebastian left that house, and that was through the garage in a car, right? That's really about the only way. So, and there's that too, Schnimsy. You're 100% right. I will never stand up and say, I know the reality. No, I just can form opinions. I can just kind of watch and say, well, more likely than not, this is happening, but I don't know if it is. And I've had a really hard time trusting that Tony Mathis has good intentions. I do think Seth is exactly as he has presented himself. I do not think that he hurt Sebastian. I think that he legitimately is just destroyed that he doesn't know where his child is. And I think he is angry and bitter at Katie and Christopher Proudfoot because he got his hands on the CPS reports, and he knows now what his child was living in, and he's furious. And I think that Seth is a fairly, how should I say it? I think he's a pretty authentic person. What he thinks, he says. He just kind of blurts things out. He doesn't seem to be very manipulative, so to speak. In fact, most of the time he's real quiet and doesn't really say too much at all. So his upset seems to be genuine. I can't say any of that about Katie and Christopher. I get really bad feelings from the two of them and the way they have behaved. And there is simply no rational explanation for giving Fox and Friends photographs when Sebastian was 8, when he went missing when he was 15 and was going through puberty. It's unforgivable that they did that. And nobody seems to care, but I sure do. I can't understand how, if you're actually looking for your child, why wouldn't you give them photographs of a 15-year-old boy? Why did you go back and give photographs when you yourself were so young you had braces on? So that, it's some weird things with Chris and Katie that it's real hard to ignore. And I don't see those things with Seth. I just see a man who is tore up about his kid, period. So this thing with Tony Mathis, I'm not white knighting for Tony, okay? I want to believe that he's a good guy, and his wife seems to be great. And I want to believe that he is philanthropic and very kind and helpful to people. I want to believe all those things. And I have found it a little hard to do that. But more and more, I am more and more thinking I've been wrong about him. So I'm just trying to be super transparent here and honest with everybody. But this exchange was really shocking. So the woman that you're going to hear talking to Tony, her name is Barbecue Lady. And she is part of the lawsuit between Brittany J and Nick the Hat, Hatchafulafu. I don't know what his last name is. Nick the Hat, Julia, the dog handler, Hong, and it seems like I'm missing one. Anyway, so they've got this big lawsuit, and it's against Granny's Watching and Barbecue Lady. And so this will be Tony talking with Barbecue Lady. And it gets set up because Queen Bee and Cluminati, B Tim, they're all saying, oh, this is the real Tony Mathis. You're going to find out just how nasty and evil he is. Boy, he really let himself go. He was caught. He's mad because he was secretly recorded. And I was like, okay, maybe I'm about to find out why I don't particularly trust this guy, right? That's what I'm thinking as I'm going in to listen to this. Listen to Barbecue Lady and the panel and how they talk, and then listen to Tony Mathis. It's a perfect example of what I'm saying. People are becoming delusional, and they're not even reacting to real life.
How are you saying my house is full of dog shit and piss and so is my backyard? That's what I want to know. How are you saying my...
Been watching.
Why? It was my fucking crazy. No, I'm not going to...
Hold on.
Anyways, but here, yeah, this is the real TikTok Tony for those who don't know.
Okay, the real TikTok
you guys
Tony.
think that you're doing?
Hold on just a second.
No, I'm not going to hold on. I don't know what you guys think you're doing, but you're calling my daughter fat and lazy. And your little 2 a.m. girls are over there saying they're going to cut my fucking brakes.
Who is live right now?
Who is live where?
Watching. I've literally been watching.
Why are you guys saying that you're going to have somebody cut my fucking brakes? Why are you calling my daughter fat, lazy, and unmotivated? And why are you saying my house is full of dog shit and piss and so is my backyard? That's what.
Okay, now that's just like crazy, right? You think, wow, that's horrible if anyone is saying that. I don't, but if Tony's saying it, it just is awful. It's horrible. Well, you're going to start listening and realize he's not online. He's not having a conversation with anyone. In fact, he's been laid up in the bed watching TV with his wife. So I don't know who is saying these horrible things, but for some reason, this woman, Barbecue Lady, is saying that Tony said them. Tony wasn't even online, apparently.
What I want to know.
Oh my God.
You and Ocean and Chase, Tony.
What?
They listen to me.
Now,
No,
mind
you guys
you,
have fucking docs.
mind you, Tony and Chase in Crime, aka Christina O'Donnell, is part of the injunction.
Yeah.
The lawsuit.
Yep.
For those who don't know.
Me, your little bitches have put my business, my personal fucking business. You had somebody call my fucking phone the other day and call me the N-word. It's your account. You run the Harley Guy account. I've reported all this shit to my attorney. Tony.
I'm trying to have a conversation with you. I have been watching the RNC with my wife all night. I have not been on TikTok. I have not at all.
Okay, so he's watching the Republican National Convention. Who believes that? A man of his age from Oklahoma who's lived a fairly financially successful life. Do you think he's interested in the Republican National Convention? I'm guessing yes, right? I don't think that's the kind of thing you just like go, oh, I'll pretend that I was watching the RNC when really I was online attacking some crude-mouthed woman. It's unbelievable. This is crazy. This woman sounds crazy, and yet Queen Bee, B10, Cluminati, they're all like, oh, listen to what a horrible man Tony is. Listen to the way he talks to Barbecue Lady. Well, so far, Barbecue Lady, you're winning in the gross and outrageous category. Okay, not Tony. You are. Your language, everything you've said has been, you, Tony, had someone else do it. You, Tony, made someone else do it. You, Tony, told someone else to do it. Barbecue Lady, you have no idea who was doing those things. But it's convenient to point the finger and say, Tony did it because of the lawsuit, right? But no, there is no proof at all. She's just thought it up in her mind that it must be Tony that said these things.
At all. So if somebody's doing that, I don't even know who's live right now to know which one you're talking about.
I'm not talking about a live, Tony. I'm talking about all the shit that you have puppeteered and puppet mastered with all your little friends. Okay?
Puppet master Tony. It is, how do you defend yourself against those kinds of accusations? If somebody comes to you and says, well, you didn't say it, you didn't do it, there's no proof that you were even knew about it or you were involved in it, but we know you're the ringmaster. We know that you're the puppet master and that you've gotten all your little lackeys, all your little Renfros gathered around you. They're all flying off like flying monkeys to do your bidding, the wicked witch. Barbecue Lady, you sound unhinged. And you sound like a child.
Tell me this. Just tell me this. Tell me this. Just tell me this. He said, I don't.
Tony said, I don't care enough to do this. Does that sound real? I think it does. I think this is an old man. And I think because of the kind of lifestyle he seems to have led, he's like this fishing champion, right? He fishes in these championship tournaments and he does like the RNC, just judging by his lifestyle. He does like the RNC. And I completely believe a man who has all these different hobbies and different interests and a lot of different kinds of friends, I don't think he cares enough to go after one unhinged crazy woman. I don't think he cares.
TikTok, I have not at all. At all. So if somebody's doing that, I don't even know who's live right now to know which one you're talking about.
I'm not talking about a live, Tony. I'm talking about all the shit that you have puppeteered and puppet mastered with all your little friends. Okay? Tell me this. Just tell me this. Tell me this. Just tell me this.
He said, I don't care enough.
Did you have access to the Harley guy account?
Stephanie,
Yes or no?
children, listen to me.
Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me, because I've got a handful of people that have said from your group chats that you had access to that.
I will tell you this. I promise you on my children, the Harley account has nothing to do with Seth or I. On my children.
Then who?
He said on his children, what did they say? The Harley channel, I don't even know what that is, has nothing to do with him or Seth. On his children's lives. And she is out of control. She can't think. Her brain has devised this Hollywood blockbuster where she's being stalked and maligned by, this slobbering villain, Tony Mathis. And he's got all his lackeys and Renfros surrounding him, and he sends them off north, south, east, and west to spread his evil deeds as long as they can get her. She believes that. That's how bad it is. And because of this insanity, they're all spending tens of thousands of dollars on idiot lawsuits.
Whose is it?
I have no clue who
He just gave it up there.
If Kamala
You
Beth-
think about
One of them said, oh, he just gave it up then. It is his. He just gave it up. What? Are you stupid? Can you understand the English language? Listen to what he says.
To that.
I will tell you this. I promise you on my children, the Harley account has nothing to do with Seth or I. On my children.
Then whose is it?
I have no clue who
he just gave it up there.
If Kamala
You
Beth-
think about
He just gave it up there. I swear, it's unbelievable.
it. He just said not Seth or Tony.
Well,
How's that giving it up? Like, what magic
yeah.
just happened?
From
that
my
I
understanding,
did?
this gets real bad. So
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now Queen Bee is giving you all a trigger warning. Be careful, because Tony is about to be a horribly abusive, misogynistic, just jerk. So she wants you to know it's about to get bad. And if you need to leave before you hear it to safeguard your precious ears, you need to do that, because she loves you and she wants to make sure you're okay. Now, never mind how she talks and how Clue talks. Never mind about their mouths. That's not, it's just if it's a man's mouth, okay? So everybody prepare, strap yourselves in. It's about to get rough here.
put out there, trigger warning for those who don't know. Wow.
And she was, in my understanding, she was live. He called in. She was on her TikTok and she was live. And then this is where she clipped it from her live and recorded it. And that's why you can hear her talking. He wasn't secretly recorded. You called into a live.
Okay.
She wasn't recording. She was on a live.
Okay. And
I'll give you
Yep.
I don't want your money. I don't need your money. I got my own money. Remember, I got a puppy mill going on.
When you and I had a simple conversation, it's not Seth's account. It's not my account.
Then whose is it? Whose
I
is
have
it?
no clue.
Well, what would I tell? What would you say? What would you say if I have a screenshot of the chat saying that Seth made that account? You took the account over. So whose is it? Ocean's or Chase's? Whose is it?
You don't have it from my chat.
Whose is it?
okay, y'all, you know what? Have a question for you guys. How many times have I been doing a live on something and I'm just talking away, talk, and you guys are all putting in the side chat, you're muted, you're muted. We can't hear you. How long? 5, 10, 15 minutes. I'm talking away, blah, 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 blah. And you guys are going, we can't hear you. And then finally, I go, oh crap. And then I say, sorry, you guys, I was talking and I wasn't reading side chat. It is simply laughable that these people believe that when you have a YouTube channel that you are watching every single comment that's put into the side chat. It is impossible to do that, especially if you're doing real content where you're having to focus on something. You've got a stream of consciousness going, right? It's hard to read every single statement that's going on, every conversation that's going on in the chat. You can't do that. I don't even try. I figure if you guys want to come in here and just talk to each other, I don't care if you're listening to me or not. You're not a class. You're not paying money for me to teach you something. You come in here to hang out with friends and to talk. And maybe I say something that, you agree with or you find interesting. So this again, the way she's presenting this, like it's so important. Well, what would you say if I told you I have a handful of people that are swearing that people in your chat said that was blah, blah, blah? Tony probably doesn't even know what they were saying in the chat. And more importantly, those people that are in the chat, the majority of them have no idea what he and Seth talk about. They have no idea what channels that they have, whether they have sock accounts, whether they have troll accounts. You guys don't know. You don't care to know. This is the weirdest conversation. Barbecue, Queen Bee, they sound delusional. Remember, Queen Bee just got really, really solemn. Oh, this is so bad. Oh, this is terrible. Trigger warning, y'all. Tony is about to lose it. It's going to be real bad. If you need to leave, I understand. Like she's building this up like big. Keep listening. You're not going to believe it.
It's never even been talked about.
Whose is it? Whose is it? Why do you guys play fucking games like this? It's so petty. You guys literally, you and your little fucking people are over there talking about me, talking about my mom, talking about my daughter. No, I am.
Now, mind you, this is the shit that was going on over on TikTok while we was over here battling it out over here. They were over there fucking around on TikTok doing this shit over there.
And just remember, this
what
is the
you're saying there, Queen Bee, is that Tony and Seth and these other people, they were not, in fact, watching the RNC with their wives. They were actually on TikTok bullying Barbecue Girl, and they were on YouTube bullying you guys. How could they keep it all straight to do all of that at one time? And what makes you think that this old man would have any interest in acting like a teenage girl, which is typically what the drama channels are? It's like a bunch of teenage mentality type arguments going on in the girl groups. Why do you think this man would have any interest in that? But according to Queen Bee, Tony is being abusive to Barbecue on TikTok and being abusive to her on Facebook, on YouTube, all at the same time.
guy that lied and said that wasn't a green screen slip, and that him and Delta, the repo guy / fake
The
defense
attorney, the one that tried to play
yeah,
like he was a
the
fucking
fake defense
attorney.
attorney, the Rico guy, Tony, and then him and Seth got on a phone call with the FBI for two hours over his dick slip. So yeah, he's if y'all believe anything that he's saying right now, I mean, use your own judgment. But when he says I don't have access to that account that was doxing and doing all the things, that she said that she has receipts that it was.
This is when they were doxing me and JLR Savage. Yeah.
Yep.
And Delta tried to pretend like he was an attorney. Yep.
I want to add to that. This is the guy who can stay professional and above board.
Oh yeah, we saw that.
And I don't know about y'all. Maybe I've been spoiled for too long, but I don't call that thing a dick.
No.
Yeah, that's
a warm-up.
Not at all.
That's
It's just
real.
a little D.
That's coming from a woman born
Just
with
a
a
little
silver,
DI. That's
silver
it.
spoon in her
Yeah.
mouth.
Little Diddy energy.
So she says,
There you go.
Literally, you and your little fucking people are over there talking about me, talking about my mom, talking about my daughter. No, I am. Yeah, because you can talk all calm because you're a fucking narcissist or psychopath or something.
And listen, I told you if you didn't talk about me, I wouldn't talk about you, and I haven't.
How mature is that? If you don't talk about me, I won't talk about you.
He just has other
Really?
people do it. He just has other people do it.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
okay, now this is the group of people that have had a never-ending stream of daily or nightly videos completely attacking Brittany J nonstop for months. And somehow they just don't notice that. They just notice, oh, you're so childish if you say, hey, look, don't talk about me. I won't talk about you. I don't think that sounds childish. I think that's what you have to say as the mature teacher in the classroom. That's what you say to the 5-year-old kindergartners when they're being mean to each other. Hey, you don't talk about little Johnny. Little Johnny's not going to talk about you, little Susie. And you guys go play with some other people. Don't try to play with each other right now. Y'all need some time out. You need some time apart. So, little Susie, don't say anything about little Johnny. Because if you do, it's just going to start another fight. And little Johnny is promised that he doesn't want to fight with you. And so he's not going to say anything about you anymore. And that is really and truly what it sounds like. And so Tony's going, don't talk about me. I won't talk about you. Don't create these issues. If you create lies, I'm going to respond. I'm going to answer to it. Not only does this group of people, not only have they made never-ending content off of Brittany J falling asleep at 4:30 in the morning, they can't see that their behavior is actually much worse than anything that Tony said so far in this little clip.
Oh, yeah.
I'm allowed to talk about whatever I want to talk about. You're the one messaging me fucking threatening ass shit.
Because you told me that you wouldn't talk about me if I didn't talk about you, and you didn't keep your word.
You know what? You didn't keep your word. You fucking lied. All those people were in the phone call, and none of them were. Only Ocean was.
See, and I find it interesting. Cajun's the one that was at the vigil crying. She's the one that hangs out in Brady's chat. Her mom is Trooper Mom or something like that. Mm-hmm. She hangs out in BJ's chat too.
If I ever walked in a room and I heard my husband on a phone call saying, well, you said that you weren't going to talk about me and I'm not going to talk about you, I would slap that fucking phone out of his hand and ask him.
So you think, lady, I don't know who you are. You think that your husband's saying, look, I told you to stop talking about me. And if you're not talking about me, I'm not going to talk about you. You think that is so bad that it calls for violence on your part? That your husband trying to reason with someone and say, look, let's just don't talk about this to each other. We'll be fine. You think that's grounds to hit him? And why are you dropping F-bombs? Do you not understand the English language? Are you having trouble just having a conversation using normal words?
And what is wrong?
I'm filing
Seriously.
papers. That's
Seriously.
crazy. These are supposed to be, these are grown people. I'm
Yeah.
just going to point out that walk amongst all of
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, they
Yeah, what
do,
the
Floyd.
fuck?
Like you do. what has he said that it? I mean, it's your little buddy there who's saying, if I heard somebody say that, I'd walk up and I'd slap the shit out. Excuse me, I'd slap the F out of them and I'd slap them all across Arkansas. That's your friend that is walking among people. I hadn't heard TikTok Tony say that he was gonna slap a person across Arkansas. He hadn't said he's gonna slap his wife across Arkansas. He certainly hasn't said he would slap a phone out of your hand. But you guys don't seem to notice that. You see, I mean, damn, Queen Bee, really? Oh, I need to give you a trigger warning. Everybody get prepared. It's about to get so bad. You're about to find out who the real TikTok Tony is. Okay, so far, Queen Bee, I am unimpressed. And the only things I've heard that have left me shocked and dismayed are the things that you guys are saying. Like, we're clearly not watching or listening to the same thing.
It scares me. Certain people, like, you could be on a jury one day, like, seriously, with this mentality. That keeps me up at night. Seriously.
Well, I mean,
Okay, wait. That keeps you up at night. You are literally saying that you are going to slap your husband all the way across Arkansas if you heard him trying to reason with someone. That's not what keeps you up at night. The violence in your hand, that doesn't worry you. You're worried that someone who says, hey, don't talk about me, I won't talk about you. You're worried that person may end up on a jury? What? I am dumbfounded. Like, I'm losing IQ points as I sit here and try to work through this. I don't understand how it is that these four people have such... There is no insight. They cannot see reality. It doesn't seem, or this is all a ruse. This is all just an act that they're putting on, trying to reflect Tony and Seth in a bad light.
if you're guilty, maybe you'll get off. I mean, it's a good news for you if you did a crime. You might be lucky to have these idiots.
Yeah, they'd hear my voice and go, guilty, bitch.
I don't think it's your voice that makes people think guilty, bitch. I think it's when you talk about slapping your husband across Arkansas that makes people go, ooh, I wonder if she's ever committed a violent crime.
All you need to do is bring in the dog and they'll be like, oh, she's a nice lady. And then you give them cookies and you're done.
Oh, really, B. Tim? That's your lawyerly bullshit. All you got to do is have a nice dog and give the jury cookies and they'll vote for you. Really?
If I ever walked in the room and heard my husband having another conversation with a woman or anybody that says, well, you weren't going to talk about me and I wasn't going to talk about you.
I would think that there's something going on, to be honest with you. I'd be like, what the fuck are you? Who is this person? Like, I don't know, man. I would fucking be picking. I'm sure that person would. You probably rip the phone right out of that fucking person's hand.
Oh,
I'd bitch
slap him to. Oh my god, I'd bitch slap him to Arkansas, bitch.
Oh, I got it wrong. I'm sorry. I thought she said she would slap her husband across Arkansas. Pardon me. It was much more serious than that. She's going to, and I quote, bitch slap her husband across Arkansas for being reasonable. And Queen Bee is scared that we're all going to get upset by Tony's anger. Just curious here, guys. How many of you are feeling afraid of Tony right now? How many of you have been worried or triggered by things that Tony has said? Put a 1. If you are, however, very afraid of this woman who's bitch slapping her spouse, put a 2. And Tiffany Crockett, I'm just going to let Tiffany Crockett say it. She can say it far better than I can. My God, Rowena, what the hell? This is so bizarre. This is so crazy to listen to. I know Bubbly Beth. I get it. It is mindless. I can't even. And usually, this made me laugh. I just was laughing and I was thinking these poor people just have no insight or they're intentionally trying to convince the masses that Tony is a bad guy. Look, I'm sorry. You guys sound crazy. Like you really do.
Talking about. All right, go ahead and play it, Queen, because he gets a lot nastier in this.
Oh, it gets so nasty. The woman who bitch slaps her husband says it's about to get real nasty. You hang on to your boots, people. It's about to get real. TikTok Tony's got the big nasty. Are y'all ready for this?
Who even are you?
Not Arkansas.
Well,
I
couldn't
are
think of
you?
anything.
To me.
I didn't.
What? Listen, what?
What'd you say,
I
man?
gotta take a drink for this one. What's your end goal? What is your end goal, Tony?
Zeus.
It's
Rowena, why'd
the
you pick
best
Arkansas to
again.
slap him to? I'm just curious.
I don't know. I don't know. Y'all get off me. I ate a gummy. Stop it.
Oh, so they're doing drugs. Now we understand why there's absolute zero evidence of personal insight. They're on drugs. That's why they think that they are brilliant. They believe that they're all completely intelligent and brilliant, and they have their thumb on the knowledge of the nation. In truth, they're all just high. So they don't know what the hell they're talking about. But I'm ready to see the big nasty. I'm ready to see TikTok Tony go plumb off the rails. Who's with me? Who's ready to listen to TikTok Tony lose his mind in anger? Are y'all ready for this? I am. Like I feel like I'm waiting on WWE. I'm ready, or WWF. I'm ready for the throwdown. TikTok, oh, Big Tone, he's about to throw down. He's fixing to get inappropriate, loud. He's going to use every cursey word there is. He may even invent a few cursey words so bad that these 4 women are going to be horrified. Now, they all cuss like drunk sailors, just like at 10 o'clock in the morning. But Big Tone is about to go slap, dab, nuts with anger. He's about to lose his mind, be crazed with hate, that we're all going to be left shocked and horrified. Remember, Queen Bee gave us a trigger warning, people. It's going to be bad when it happens.
No, I've
Here we
been
go.
slapping to, I don't know.
Lie to you.
Anyway,
We prayed it was the edibles. All right, here we go.
there you go.
You're a You're a liar because I talked to Chats and Bertha. They weren't even on the phone call.
Let me tell you something.
Oh my God.
The phone call was initiated.
Wow.
All 6 people.
And only
When I
one
got the
person
phone call, I
answered.
was driving, and I saw 6 people that were invited to the call. I thought we were all talking, but Chaps and Bertha lied to you. They were on that call. The only one that wasn't.
That's a fucking lie.
Where's your proof, Tony?
The one, this digging that you're talking about, I'm telling you right now that the 2 that were doing all the personal digging were those 2.
Okay. And
They were doing the digging.
Phoenix,
That's a fucking lie.
Austin, and Chase were in
I'm
little.
saying they didn't do things to hurt.
See, he talks so low and just like he's trying to be like the Clear Eyes guy all monotone, but
He's trying to be calm, but he gonna pop off in just a second. Wait for it.
right, he can only hold it for so long. But here we go.
Kind of like
They didn't
bruh.
do the personal stuff.
They all did. Chase had fucking lives talking about me. Literally talking about me.
Where's this coming from today? Because
I'm a little curious here, barbecue lady. Do you think that people are talking about you because Tony said something about you? Or maybe they're talking about you because you sound unhinged and insane. You sound crazy. You're screaming. You're dropping the big F-bombs. You're accusing him of having an army of flying monkeys. Queen is accusing him of doing his evil on YouTube and TikTok all at the same time. Maybe people are talking about you, barbecue, because you sound nuts.
today, I have not heard from any of these girls today, other than Maddie, who's my friend.
Tiffany, I don't know, girl. I don't
I don't
know.
even know who that is.
Well, that's and she doesn't do anything to you.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
Yeah, it's not anybody. That's
You need to rein in your shit, okay? Because if you wanna trudge down this hill and you want everybody to be supportive and all this stuff, and you're on set.
I don't care. I don't care who's supportive. I give you my word.
I believe Tony when he says he doesn't care. I believe that. Just like I believe 100% he and his wife are watching RNC, and he's probably thinking, why are these women even speaking to me? And what's wrong with them?
I would not talk.
You're interrupting me, first of all.
Oh, now barbecue lady's gonna pull her woman card. Tony, don't make me pull the woman card. I'm the little lady. Okay. Barbecue lady, sincerely, you have cussed this man up one side and down the other. You have bitch slapped him linguistically for about 15 or 20 minutes with literally zero response from him. You have accused him of the most ridiculous junior high school age BS. And now you're a little upset because he interrupted your tirade. Is this what we've been waiting on, Queen? I'm a little intrigued, Queen. You gave a trigger warning 15 minutes ago, and so far, the worst thing Tony's done is to stop her from dropping more F-bombs.
You have everybody else do it. You had a texting conversation with numerous people, and you said, I want you to dig. You need to rein in your shit, okay? Because if you want to trudge down this hill and you want everybody to be supportive and all this stuff, and you're on set.
I don't care. I don't care who's supportive. I give you my word. I would not talk.
You're interrupting me, first of all. Yeah, you have everybody else do it. You had a texting conversation with numerous people, and you said, I want you to dig up dirt on blah, 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 blah. And I was one of them. And you guys came after me because I said an opinion that I thought Seth was taking advantage of this whole situation as a money grab. And that's what I said. And that's when the bullshit fucking started. And I'm allowed to have an opinion. Anyone is.
Okay, so Barbecue stands by her right to have an opinion, and her opinion is that the parent, the biological parent, who seems to be the only one that cares that Sebastian is missing, that really it's just a money grab. What? Barbecue. I can't even say what I want to say. I have to censor myself.
Allowed to have an opinion.
To your opinion.
And that's when all the shit started. Dude, I've got so many fucking people. I've been doxxed. This is your little crew. You picked them.
It's not my little.
You talk to them all the time. You just love Oceans. These are your late night girls. I mean, literally, like, that's all they fucking talk about is you, Tony.
Barbecue lady, you sound more like a jealous wife or a jealous girlfriend than an independent person just being on, a wronged person who's standing up for themselves. You're coming across like you and Tony are boyfriend, girlfriend, and you're just shooing him up one side down the other because he's talking to the other girls at night online. That's what you sound like, Barbecue lady. You sound jealous of Tony because he's not returning the love.
You sit on lives all day and night and talk shit about people. I mean, let's get this fucking.
I don't
straight.
sit all night and all day.
If you want to get trashy,
Then let's get trashy, Tony. What the fuck?
Do you want me to show you what it's like when I'm involved?
Yeah, go ahead.
Show you?
What the fuck are you gonna do?
Because you'll be on a live crying.
What the fuck are you gonna do? You can't make me cry, Tony.
Crying like a little.
I don't care if I live in a fucking trailer. I'll show you my trailer tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good job.
My kids are all adults.
Good job, Mama.
My kids are all adults, motherfucker.
Did he just say good job,
fucking
Mama?
kids, motherfucker.
Fuck you.
That's it. That was it. That was the crescendo. That was the reason for the trigger warning, because Tony says F you after he warns her to stop screaming and cussing at him and hurling these ridiculous accusations. He takes it and takes it and takes it. She escalates and escalates and escalates. He keeps saying, stop, stop, stop. And then he says, you'll know it if I'm having a problem with you. And she's like, no, what you going to do, Tony? Rah, 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 rah. And he made the very poor decision to act out his frustration. But I got to tell you, if she had been screaming at me that long like that, we'd have gotten to the FU part a lot faster than what Tony got to it. So, yeah, did she deserve it? I mean, at what point do you just have to say to someone, stop, 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 stop? And she couldn't. She just got worse and worse and worse. Yep, is pretty bad. So, sipping on it. It's like the Waffle House at 3 a.m. I want my damn bacon. All right. If you don't live in rural America, you don't have any idea what we're talking about the Waffle House. All right. They picked each other as friends. No love with Tony. Good job, Mama. That's why people don't watch them. God. All right. So yeah, me too, Denise. The truth is, okay, so realistically, I wouldn't have even listened to that. Like, I would have just hung up the phone. I wouldn't have tried. When she continued to cuss and say nonsense about what people were saying in my side chat, I would have just said, there's nothing to talk about here. You make no sense. Goodbye. And then I would have hung up. I would have been done. So, yeah, I don't know why Tony stayed online and went toe to toe. I don't even know why he wasted his breath, doing it, but he did. So the reason, it would, wouldn't it, Tiffany? So the reason they give Deliverance vibes, bow 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 bow. I'll bitch slap you across Arkansas if I hear you trying to work out a problem. Ba-da-dum, dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Now then, so the reason I wanted to show this is because we were told over and over and over and over and over again how bad Tony's behavior was, that he acts out in this really aggressive, shocking, horrible way, right? And poor old barbecue lady, she's just so badly mistreated during this conversation. When you start listening to it, you're there's like cognitive dissonance, because you're like, well, she's being pretty awful. And then a little while later, you're like, well, she's still being awful. When's he going to twist off? And then you're like, well, she is still talking terrible. And then finally, he drops the big FU. And they gasp and they grab their smelling salts, clutching their pearls. Oh my God, I can't believe you talk to a woman like that. I'm a woman. Don't interrupt me. Look, sister, you talk the way you just talked to him. I don't think you can pull the woman card. I think if you are going to stand toe to toe like that and speak to another person with that level of disrespect, I think you'd better take a big old breath of fresh air and prepare yourself for whatever the reaction is going to be. People don't like to be talked down to. People like to communicate. They like to give their position and then listen to your position and then try to come up with a solution. People are happy with that. But it's going to be real hard to find a 50-year-old child willing to stand there while you bitch slap him across Arkansas. So, I don't know. This is why there are foolish, silly lawsuits. This is why subs are missing out on money, because they're donating to their favorite creator for their lawsuits. And these are cases that are going to go to a courtroom, and the judge is going to listen and say, what is this insanity I am listening to? Young lady, you are speaking to this man like he is your little 5-year-old, and you don't expect him to get irritated with you? This is the whole point of what I was saying earlier. People are forming relationships through social media, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and you are thinking that you know each other, and you're responding with great passion as if you are in a relationship. And you're not. It's all an illusion. You don't even know what you guys are reacting to. Tony took her crap for at least 25 minutes of her ranting and raving and hurling insults that made absolutely no sense. Then you've got this woman, I don't even know who she is, just talking about physical violence like it's funny, and none of you are shocked by that. But then when Tony says, you know what, F you, suddenly you want to all faint. You want to act like you're wearing a bustle and a corset, and that your man has kept you in the kitchen in 4-inch heels cooking his eggs and bacon. Stop. You guys are all unhinged. It's weird. All right. Yeah, I don't even. She should have just done a TikTok like a normal psycho. I don't know. I think that when you go in and you listen to these channels, it is very difficult to find common sense. It is very, very difficult to find a logical thought. There is an agenda. The agenda is very easy to find. Logic and rational thought is in very short supply. The agenda is we've got to rally the peasants to hate Seth. We have to do that because we are on Team Katie. And the only way that we can help Team Katie is to foment hate against Seth. So the goal is hate Seth. There is no desire for honesty and truth. That has nothing to do with it. It is simply baffle them with bullshit. Just talk it up. It's like, Lucius Maximus Aurelius getting the gladiators amped up, ready to go fight against, the Praetorian Guard. It's just pep talk. And the fact that these people said, "Oh, be careful. You need a trigger warning. Tony is going to be so out of control. You're going to be horrified. Your trauma could be triggered by Tony's bad behavior." And then you listen to the actual clip, and what you hear is Barbecue Lady and Rowena behaving badly, not Tony. And, I think they should be embarrassed. Yes, DB. Yes. And they don't seem to have any real feelings for Sebastian. It is Team Katie. It is not caring for Sebastian. No one cares that Katie took her child to have contact with her predator. The perpetrator that harmed Katie was given access to her child by her. And no one cares. Today, they were screaming and yelling of victim blaming. Oh, you're a horrible person. You're victim blaming. You clearly don't understand what victim blaming is, not by a long shot. This mother knowingly took her child, a 6-7-year-old little kid, and allowed him time with Granny Frances. Granny Frances has been determined by the state to be a danger to any child anywhere. Now, you may not know this, but I know it. The state doesn't typically like to curtail one's civil rights. Did y'all know that? The judges never want to step in and tell people this is what you can do and this is what you cannot do. They don't like to do that because there's this little thing called a constitution that can make their lives very difficult. There's got to be an awful lot of evidence to make a judge say, hey, you see this mom? We're going to name her a level 3 sex offender, and she will never, ever be allowed around minor children again. She is a known monster. Judges don't like to do that. It causes them trouble. And yet, there we are. Katie's perpetrator, Katie's monster, was given access to her own 6 or 7-year-old kid by her. No one of these women care. They don't care. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable that they don't care. Because aren't they in it for Sebastian? Isn't that what they want to tell you as their virtue signaling? Oh, we're doing this for Sebastian. Okay, why are you upset about Granny Frances? Why doesn't that bother you? All right. Yes, Kells, the original old school troublemaker. All right. It is terrible, Tiffany. It's just terrible. Yeah, for sure, Katie knows better. For sure. I understand awkwardly these things overlay the whole justice style to punitive damages instead of state brought charges. Revolution 2.0. I mean, things are very in the courts. There's a lot of problems, and I can't for the life of me understand why Sumner County hasn't done something in the name of Sebastian Rogers. Don't you think an open CPS case from January, the kid goes missing weeks later in February, in the weeks before that, Chris and Katie are advocating for getting rid of Sebastian. Seth is one going, we can't do that. We can't send our kid there. Kids die there. Give me a chance. Let me try to find a different place. Let me try to figure out how to have him at my house. But please don't send him to this dangerous residential school. Please don't do that. We can't do that. It was, in fact, Chris and Katie that wanted to get rid of Sebastian. And then he disappeared. I don't know, Sumner County DA. Sounds kind of fishy to me. And you have access to the CPS records. So whoever it was that found themselves in hot water in January for mistreating Sebastian, that might be a good place to start with some arrests. All right. I'm done with this. I just thought this is such a great example to show people who, even though they have a great deal of passion, they have absolutely zero insight. I thought it was interesting. All right. I'm going to be back to talk about Zachary Hughes. We are on jury verdict watch. So I'll be back. Give me a few minutes. Yeah.
So grab a seat, don't miss a beat. This true crime jewels got what you need. We're always watching Barry and waiting for the truth. In the world of crime, we discuss the proof. So hit that play and join the true crime journey with Jewels of Thought and her gemstone family.